Колеги, доброго ранку. Розпочинаємо наш робочий день зі зведеного прес-брифінгу речника штабу антитерористичної операції Анатолія Стельмаха. На жаль, у хлопців сьогодні в штабі деякі проблеми з інтернетом. Ми замість скайп-зв'язку традиційного ми зв'яжемося з ним по телефону.
We'll call him now about the activity of MOD, Sergei Lushko, Colonel, and he's the deputy in of press service. Good morning, Colonel Halushko, Sergei Alexandrovich. I'm a representative minister in MOD. As to main events, main activities of MOD during the previous day. For us, the main news is the beginning of withdrawal of armed forces of Ukraine. We withdraw artillery system of 100 caliber and bigger, and to the distance which is mentioned in the Minsk agreement. The first units we start to withdraw anti-tank artillery MT-12 Rapira. We withdraw them to the positions which are not less than 25 kilometers from the line of separation. And that's what Minsk agreements demand or prescribe. Today we'll continue withdrawal of our units in several hours. Mass media will show how our new columns artillery will move to the rear, and I would like to mention that armed forces of Ukraine have enough of capabilities along the separation line in case terrorists violate, abuse, and ceasefire, and also Russian troops also. If they shell upon our positions, I would like to underline that the withdrawal of our armed forces is done under the control of OSCE representatives. So they accompany our columns, and they record from where, and they accompany them during the movement. We demand adequate compliance of Minsk agreements by all the parties, all the signature parties. The other news is the President of Ukraine, the Supreme Commander of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, signed the law of Ukraine about civic military administrations. It outlines author powers and military civilian administrations as to security and normalization of population in ATO area. I would like to remind that military civilian administrations, those are temporary bodies of governance, and in this case they function on in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions under the guidance of SBU, and they are meant to provide to make the constitution in order to be on that authority. They will harmonize the life of a population. They will participate in prevention of terrorist attacks, and they will prevent humanitarian disaster in ATO areas. Military civilian administrations work when local authorities objectively cannot do their job, or resigned, or military civilian administrations will have their powers until they are stopped during the first day of a newly elected council of local power. The third component of my briefing is information about that President of Ukraine, Supreme Commander of Armed Forces of Ukraine, signed decrees on giving state awards to military men who participated in ATO and especially in the Baltsovo. In general, a lot of them, 340 were awarded and 70 posthumously. And they received medals for military service to Ukraine, for very good service, for excellent service, and the Order of Bogdan Khmelnytsky for validity. 74 were awarded for Debaltseve and 17 posthumously. I'll give you some names. We should know them. Captain Alexei Komarov, and on the 12th of February, he was responsible for delivery of ammunition to Debaltseve. The column got into the trap, and despite in the ambush, and despite wounds, heavy wounds, he was covering the withdrawal of his colleagues, and he received. And also, Order Bogdan Khmelnytsky was awarded to Lieutenant Ryuri Dekhtyar, who was also got into ambush, and he was very skillfully leading his colleagues despite of his wounds, and they did their job well, and they had minimal losses, and from airborne paratrooper unit and separate brigade 95 Landry soldier Andrei Yelichanin, he was responsible for withdrawal of our armed forces from the Debaltseve Platsdam, and he replaced his driver in the vehicle. He took out his soldiers, his colleague soldiers, and did his military job well. In the end, some news about officers, graduation of officers from the high universities, military universities, and yesterday we started ceremonies, and Kharkiv and Kharkiv University of Air Force, they graduate, and lieutenants, epaulets of lieutenants were received by 300 officers today. Similar event will take place in National University of Defense after Ivan Jelyakovsky. And tomorrow there will be more graduation. And since Monday, these officers will get into the role, and they will serve in their different units. Understanding the issue, I would like to say that young lieutenants, they will not be sent to ATO area right away. They will be trained for several weeks. It will take several weeks to appoint them to their positions, and also there will be some additional trainings, and it's for us it's very timely, because officers on such positions, that's a key element in supporting capabilities of our units. With your permission, I will give the floor to ATO spokesperson. Thank you very much, Colonel. I will try to connect with Anatoliy Stelmakh. Good morning, Anatoly. Good morning. I would like to hear from you a report what was happening in ATO area during one day. The only request, please, no hurry if you have a communication problem. Night from 26 to 27 was quite calm. Gans informations, and they were complying with the ceasefire, but under some militant groups periodically they provoke Ukrainian soldiers, and they shell upon our positions. And last night, from small arms, they shelled upon Krymsk. Not far from Debaltseve, terrorists were shelling upon Lensky and Mayorsk. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, they used artillery upon Khimik in Donetsk region. I have to say that because of the reduction of shelling, and because of Minsk agreements, we we pulled back our MT-12 Rapira cannons, and along the separation line. So our artillery is redislocated to prepared positions not less than 25 kilometers from this separation line, which is mentioned in the agreement. At the same time, ATO units hold their positions, and they comply with a ceasefire. Thank you very much, Anatoly, for your information. Colleagues, do you have questions to the speakers? Mr. Stelmakh, yesterday Mustafa Dzhemilov was an authorized person by the president. He reminded that in northern Crimea they have 40,000 military forces, Russian military forces and militants. Ukrainian armed forces in ATO area, in case they attack from Crimea, from the sea, for example, is it possible? Armed forces of Ukraine and other structures that participate in ATO, they are in complete combat readiness. We dislocate our forces, and we have enough of means to fight off the attack of the enemy. We have the line of defense, we have our positions, and despite our withdrawal of our equipment, we are ready to any scenario. The second question. Sector M, military units, 128 intelligence battalion. Soldiers that were mobilized into those units, they provide ammunition and clothing to themselves. And is there someone to resolve this issue? They are missing ammunition and equipment, military equipment. Also, they have very old equipment. Could you send them at least something new? Is it a question to you? Maybe it's not in your competence. Maybe I will give the floor to Colonel Halushko, and he will try to answer this question. Anatoly, thank you very much. Take care. Have a nice day, and talk to you tomorrow. I will try to answer your question. First of all, information about Russian armed forces near our borders, and the issue of that military unit. Near Crimea, we have a group of our forces, and I say group, and I cannot describe anything else, but it's enough to adequately react to the situation. That's the first point. As to military unit that you mentioned, I take your information not as a confirmation, as a statement about the level of support, but this is the issue we'll have to check. Well, thank you for your information, and we'll take, if we find a problem with ammunition and or equipment, we will try to fix that situation. Thank you for your question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, colleagues. And next briefing about ATO area will be at 12:30, and from Colonel Lysenko. Our next briefing at 10 o'clock will be 10 o'clock, and it will be State Emergency Service. Thank you very much.